Good morning, artists. So today you're going to learn about a couple different tools. You're going to learn how to create color swatches in a folder to organize your color swatches into Illustrator. And then we're going to use Image Trace, which is my favorite tool, to be able to transform anything you find. Any clip art works the best, but any image into a vector so that you don't have to go back and trace and create it from scratch. Okay, this is going to be probably one of the #1 things you're going to use to be able to create your design. So first thing, let's talk color. If you don't already have a color scheme, you need to head over to coolers.co, as you see right here, to be able to create your color scheme. We did this in class, but I know not everybody was there. So here's the quick how-to on that. So when you open it up, start the generator and you should see something like this. If you click your space bar, it'll give you different options for what your, what different color schemes would be. If I know I want to do some brighter colors because I'm going to do something for my daughter. Ooh, I actually really like these. Once you find some you like, you can always go back and adjust something. So maybe I want this to be a different shade of pink. So I'm going to hover over it, click adjust. I clicked it, I promise. Maybe. Oh, there we go. And then that'll give me some options to be able to adjust it to what I want. So my daughter really likes like a light pink, so I'm going to do that. And then this looks pretty good otherwise, okay? Once you have it, you will write down these hex codes. You should have already done this on the pattern plan, but if you didn't, you can write it down. And then a little trick for me is I like to snip my colors, including the hex code, and then copy and paste that into my Illustrator document. So here it is. And I'm going to pull that down. So now I can always go back and see what those original colors are. When I'm all finished, I'll delete it. But while I'm working, it's like having like a little palette there for you. Okay? So now I want to organize these colors into my swatches. So over here, make sure you're on Essentials Classic up at the top. A lot of people have been emailing me and they're on Touch or they're on something else. Sometimes it accidentally switches. Stay on Essentials Classic. That's what I use, and it's got all the tools that I'm showing you. And then you should be able to find these swatches right here. If you can't find them, if you can't find something ever, just go to Windows and click on whatever it is. So click on Swatches. So I'm going to get myself out of the way. Okay, so here are my swatches. So now the first thing I want to do is I want to create like a little folder to keep these in because I want to try and stay organized. So down here it says new color group. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to call these donuts for Emmy because we're making this for my daughter. And this is the image that I'm going to redo. It's the donuts. I'm going to click OK. And now I have a couple things I can do. So I can either double click on the fill and it'll bring up this color picker, and then I can type in whatever those codes are. So this is the one for the first one for gunmetal. And once I have that, I can just click and drag. Wow, it like matches this tone, which is kind of funny. So I can click and drag that. See a little blue line, there we go. And then I can just keep doing that. So I can double click. The next one, medium turquoise, is 4ECD. Oh, did I mess that up again? 4ECD C4. Yeah, that's it. Why is it not going up there? That's not the right color, right? DC4. Well, it should just pop up right up here. Try one more time, although I'm about to show you the easier way to do it. There it is. Where is it pulling up? That's fine. So here's the easier way to do it. If you go over here to your eyedropper tool, it's eye, click on that. This is what I actually do. I will just click on a color and then pull up my color swatches and then drag it down. So click on a color, pull up my color swatches, drag it down. And I'm gonna do that for my last two. A little box, there you go. And last one, this bubblegum pink. I bet she would like that. Okay, so now I have all of my colors in place, ready to go. Okay, so now I'm ready to go ahead and show you how to do the image trace. And that's why I have these two images already on here. So you'll start with a blank document. You'll go online, you'll find an image that you want to change for your pattern. So whatever it is, your theme, whatever reminds you of that person. Donuts remind me of my daughter. You will just go online and Google and find an image, okay? Preferably clip art, so anything with like a big black outline, anything that's a little simpler works really well. Illustrator is built for that. If you get like a real image, like it still will work, but you'll have to play with the settings a lot more. So I just have a clip art of this donut. I'm gonna click on it, and these are my instructions. You guys won't have this on your screen, but you can write them down. I will have these also just saved to Schoology and saved to your checkpoint. But so I already copy and pasted this image into my new document. So now I'm clicking on it. So under the selection tool, I just make sure that it knows that I'm using this picture since I have a couple other things going on. Then it says go to Window, Image Trace. So Window, Image Trace, and it pulls up this lovely window, right? So now I'm gonna play with these settings. So I want to be able to preview what it's going to look like. So I'm gonna click on Preview. And right now the mode is black and white. And that just makes it way too simple. It's only two colors, so it's black and white, and I can't tell all the details of the donut. So I'm gonna change that to color. And wow, it looks pretty good. It looks like a clean version of this. If I click on Advance, then it gives me a few more options. I can kind of play with corners, although I think mine looks pretty good. I don't know that I need to play with that. I can play with, like, if I want it to be just 6 colors. So that'll simplify it, take out some colors. If I want it to be 16 colors, here we go, or up to 16 colors. If I want it to be more like sketchy, which I don't, or like technical drawing, which I don't. I think what I want is just 16 colors is fine, even though it's not all those 16. Okay, so here we are. I like to view tracing result with outlines, just to see if you have crazy little lines in here, then you probably need to go back and adjust and simplify a little bit more. My lines look pretty good, so I'm gonna leave them just the way they are. And then I'm coming back over here to my notes of what I'm gonna do next. So I did Object, Image, Trace. I just played with the settings. So now I need to click Expand. So Expand is actually going to pull up in your quick actions over on the right-hand side whenever you're in this setting. And this is gonna say, okay, I like it the way it is. I want to go ahead and make it into a vector. So I'm going to click Expand. And now it's all done. I can get out of this. I can click off of it. Currently, it's all grouped together as one big vector. So now it says Object, Ungroup. So I can either go Object, Ungroup. There's another option for Expand also. Or what I like to do is, your Object Ungroup is, it's just over in the quick actions too. So I'm gonna ungroup it. So now when I click off of it, I can now click on each individual part, move them around, do whatever I need to do. I can make sprinkles larger. I can just adjust. It does make, like, it had a white background, so it makes the white background a thing. So I'm going to delete those. Hey, Emmy. Thank you. She's really excited about her donut. And now I can go and I can start changing the colors on this. So, yeah, so. Okay. Okay, great. So now maybe I want to change the sprinkles so that the sprinkles are all, maybe I do like this yellow color. So I'm going to hold shift and I'm trying to click just on the sprinkles because I don't want to change to the black. I just want to get the sprinkles, but I want them all to be this yellow color. You can hear Sophia in the first in the background. This is what working from home looks like with a toddler. Okay, so now I can go back over to my color swatches and I can click on those yellow. And so I just changed them all yellow. Perfect. Next thing I can do is maybe, I'm gonna click off, I'm gonna click on this, and maybe I want this part to be, I don't know, maybe I want it to be blue. And so I'll click on here and I'll change it to blue. Then what I like to do is I like to then, oops, click off of it. And then I want to create like a darker version of that blue. So I'm going to click on, double click on fill. I'm going to darken it just a little bit. And then I'm going to drag that down. I'm also going to click on it and lighten it a bunch and drag that down. So now I have a few different options for the different shades on here. So now I can click on, hold shift, click on the darker parts and then make them darker. I can also then go back and click on all, and I have to get all these little parts, the lighter parts, and make those lighter. Okay, and I can do the same thing down here with different versions of my pink, maybe. So I'm going to click on my pink. I'm going to make my donut pink. I feel like that sounds delicious. I don't know. Then if I click off of it, I can double click on that pink, make it darker. So now I can click, click, go to my darker one. Oh! And I didn't save it. So let's try that again. Double open it up. Oops. Gotta be on this one. Darken. Okay. Pull it down so that I have it. There we go. Now let's try. Here we go. So now I've started transforming this into my colors. What I'd probably do is, like currently I didn't use my cream for anything. So maybe I'm gonna go back in, click just a few sprinkles and make them that creamy color. I want this one to be that creamy color too. And then I haven't used my gunmetal color, so I'm gonna click on some of the outlines and I would have to go in and get every individual outline, so I'm not gonna do that for this full video. But I would click on the outlines and start transforming those to that gunmetal color. Okay, but you get the idea. Play with it, have fun with it. If you have any problems at all, just let me know. Otherwise, I can't wait to see what you create. You're going to snip this, so just snip the image that you recreate and paste it into Summit under the image trace checkpoint so that I can check it out. And have a great day.